So, not sure if anybody is logging in early yet. Somehow, this live got set to start at 9:10 a.m., which was a typo. So, just in case we have some early birds coming in at 9 o'clock, I wanted to start the stream now, just in case. So, if we get any early people in, we can comment. Otherwise, hi, Cindy. We're going to wait, Cindy, until 9:10 to actually kick things off because somehow this got scheduled for 9:10 when it should have been scheduled at top of the hour. But that's what it says out there on our Facebook, our Pro Stitcher Facebook page. So I just want to make sure we don't start too early for everybody. Can you see me okay? And can you hear me, Cindy? Well, I've got you on. Might as well do a sound check. Excellent. Hey, Martha. Hi. Again, just wanted to make sure people know we will officially start in 10 minutes. So I don't know why the Facebook Live event got scheduled at 9:10. I think it was a typo. But that's what it says on our Facebook Pro Stitcher page. And I don't want to start too early. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Marion. And Susan's here, so people are piling in at the top of the hour. Hi, Mary. And hopefully we'll have a Handy Quilter educator or somebody either from Pro Stitcher or Handy Quilter also in on an admin level. No, I will not be discussing zero position, June. That is kind of an advanced topic in Designer. But I'm trying to think if I've done my own video. I may have done a video on my own YouTube channel, which is at Hoosier Quilt, Coast Quilt Company on YouTube. I think I might have done one on zero positioning. So June, today is just going to be kind of a general overview and getting started with Pro Stitcher Designer. So, all righty. Letting everybody pile in. And again, everybody that's coming in, we're going to start at 9:10 because that's what it says on the Facebook Pro Stitcher page for this event. I think it was a typo, so I just wanted to come in early to catch the early birds that are signing in at the top of the hour. So, but we will start officially at 9:10 so we don't lose anybody. Hi, everybody. I see people piling in here again. I'm just going to let people know we'll be starting in about 5 minutes. This particular go live somehow got scheduled for 9:10 a.m. Pacific time, 10:10 Mountain time. I think it was a typo, but that's what it says on our Facebook Pro Stitcher page in the events section. So I don't want to start too early. So hold tight, everybody. I see everybody's coming in from across the country. I'm sure we've got people from outside the country, maybe Canadians, Australians, people from Europe. So glad to see you all join. Great, Anne. I'm so glad you're liking these lives. I'm glad they're helpful. And they are recorded, just so you know. They're going to live on our Facebook Pro Stitcher page for about 2 weeks. But we also upload them to our Pro Stitcher YouTube channel, and they'll be under live events. There's a link there on the YouTube channel. You can click on the live events, and it will live there in perpetuity on our Pro Stitcher YouTube channel. Good morning, Lisa, from the Gulf Coast. Excellent. Alrighty, we're going to give it another 5 minutes or so, 4 minutes, and then I'll get started. Thanks for all logging in early. Hope everybody's having a good day and staying cool. We're in the dog days of summer here. The fall is right around the corner, so. Janet, I don't know why it's showing noon on YouTube. Depends on, you must be East Coast time, so I don't know. I don't know how it got scheduled to 9:10. I really just think it was a typo. Whoever set up the live just made a little typo, so I just don't want to start before everybody piles in here. And I'm glad you're looking forward to this class. Okay. Got it, Janet. Yep. So yeah, it was supposed to be 10 a.m. Mountain Time, not 10:10. So I'm not sure how that happened, but we can roll with it. Not a problem. Everybody's patient. Yeah, a couple minutes to grab your favorite beverage if you haven't done so already. So we'll give it just 3 more minutes and we will get started. Diana, they're scheduled for an hour and a half. If I get through sooner, it'll end sooner. If I go over a little bit, it's going to go over a little bit. I just want to make sure I cover everything that I think is important to cover for this sort of getting started overview of Pro Stitcher Designer. But we do schedule them for an hour and a half. So Many Miles Studio, you don't have Pro Stitcher Designer. That's okay. This is a good place to be so you can see what Pro Stitcher Designer is all about. And if you are a long armor in business, quilting for others, Pro Stitcher Designer is probably a tool you want to have in your arsenal, to be honest. In fact, there's going to be a tool I talk about called the backdrop tool that is extremely helpful for people who long arm for others. It allows you to be able to preview designs on a quilt top, and that's a pretty cool tool to offer your clients. It'll make you look like a Pro Stitcher boss for sure. So definitely worth considering. And Pro Stitcher Lite is fine. Pro Stitcher Designer works with Pro Stitcher Lite, not a problem. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And good morning, Cheryl. And yes, this is always recorded and it will live on the Facebook Live, and I'll post this here. Let me just, this live event will be recorded on Facebook Pro Stitcher page for about 2 weeks, and also on Pro Stitcher YouTube channel in the live section. Okay, hopefully, I don't know if my post is going to work or not. Looks like it might have. So hopefully y'all saw that this live event is recorded. It's on the Facebook Pro Stitcher page. It stays there for about 2 weeks. Then it'll be pulled down, and it is also going to be uploaded to our Pro Stitcher YouTube channel. So you should all be subscribed to that if you're not, and it will be in the live section. So all of the lives, all of our Facebook lives that we do about anything will be on the Facebook Pro Stitcher page for 2 weeks. Then it's also simultaneously uploaded to Pro Stitcher's YouTube channel. All righty, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and I won't be able to see your comments as I present. I'll try to take a couple of breaks to make sure questions are being answered. Hopefully I've got some backup help from another educator that will be signing in if they're not signed in already, to try to answer your questions on the fly. If not, we'll try to go back and answer them as we can after the live event is done. But it's hard for me to see your comments when I have my screen pulled up. So first off, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Patty Sliney. I'm one of the Handy Quilter national educators. I've been a national educator for Handy Quilter 3 years now. I've been long arming since 2017. You can see my machine behind me. So I'm an avid user of Pro Stitcher. For many of you who know me on our Facebook social media groups, Pro Stitcher Quilters. We also have Pro Stitcher Designer Facebook group, Handy Quilter Community. So we've got several Facebook groups there for support, and I help manage social media for Handy Quilter. So you'll see me frequently on those Facebook groups. So if you have a question at all about Pro Stitcher, about your machine, about Pro Stitcher Designer, you can post to the appropriate group, and I will try to answer you, or one of our other educators or some of our expert users will jump in. It's great support. So I am going to go ahead and try to share my screen here. Okay. And hopefully you see my big screen, and let me minimize that. And hopefully that's what you're seeing is my PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to jump back and get a confirmation that you see my PowerPoint presentation. You can see my mouse cursor with a purple circle, and you see a small picture of me in the corner. So let me just verify that all of that is true. Okay. I'm back showing you my Google Chrome page, but did you see my PowerPoint there? Okay, yes, yes, and yes. Okay, and Laura, yes, I do for various retailers. So let me go ahead and go back to my Pro Stitcher PowerPoint. So this is where I can't see your comments. All righty. So getting started with Pro Stitcher Designer. The first obvious question is, what is Pro Stitcher Designer? So Pro Stitcher Designer is a full-featured design software, and it's for creating paper or digitized quilting designs and patterns. So you can actually digitize your own designs. You can also create paper pattern designs. It gives you the ability to also edit and customize existing designs. It lets you import or export any other quilting designs. It has all kinds of helpful built-in tools, such as the backdrop tool that I'll be showing you today that allows you to audition quilting designs onto an image of your quilt top, which is just one of the coolest features. I use it all the time. I use it for almost every quilt that I do, so I can get a really good idea, good visualization of how designs look on a quilt I'm doing. You do get free lifetime program updates. They don't cost anything. It is compatible with all major quilting file formats, not just the 3 that we use in ProStitcher, which, as you know, are QLI, HQF, and HQV, but it will open pretty much every major quilting file format, as well as export to all of them. You can also import and export vector file formats, and you can even do a batch save in all the quilting formats at one time. So if you're really interested in digitizing and maybe you want to sell your own designs, that's a really nice feature, because you can digitize your design and then do a batch conversion and convert it to all the major long arm quilting file formats at one time. And you can even add a copyright note. It's a pretty cool feature. When you install ProStitcher Designer onto your ProStitcher tablet, Designer will talk to your ProStitcher Premium or Lite program, allowing you to send designs back and forth between the 2 programs. And when you purchase ProStitcher Designer, it comes with 2 activations, so you can install it on 2 different devices. Most of the ProStitcher, if you buy ProStitcher Premium, you actually get ProStitcher Designer with it. If you have ProStitcher Lite, it's an additional purchase. But you can put it on your tablet and register it and activate it on your tablet. And it also allows you to install it on your laptop and register and activate it on your laptop as well. So if you end up having something bad happen, like happened to me this week, your computer crashes and you need to have somebody help you deactivate that registration, the folks at ProStitcher, the support people at ProStitcher, can help you with that and deactivate and install and give you a new activation so you can install it on a new laptop like I had to do this week. So that's kind of a nice little option. You always have those 2 activations. Again, we talked about what it can open. This is like, there's a lot. All of the major long arm quilting file formats, no matter what kind of machine you have. These are the file types that it can import. So you can see those are image files, SVG, and some ones that you might be more familiar with, like BMP, JPEG, PNGs, TIFFs, GIFs. You can save as an export to those files, those image files, to these various file formats here, which are long arm stitch file formats. This is a workspace, long arm stitch file formats. Also, you can export to these types of image files. It also comes with 250 built-in designs, so that's kind of nice. So we're going to go ahead and get started with ProStitcher Designer and the navigation hierarchy. So let me go ahead, and I'm actually going to pull up Designer so you can see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like when it launches. It launches to this home page, and it gives you several options that you can choose from. Usually I'm going to create a design, and that will open a new page. So I'll show you that. So it gives me a new page, and you can see it has a tab here. It says Design 1, and this program, different than ProStitcher Premium or Lite, allows you to open multiple workspaces, which is really handy. So let's kind of review the home page. Now, the home page that you saw, if for some reason you want to get it back up, you can just go to Help and click on My Home, and it will come right back up for you. So that's where it lives. So I'm just going to close that. So let's go back to our navigation hierarchy with Designer. Again, it is not unlike ProStitcher Premium and Lite, as well as other Windows-based software programs. Same navigation hierarchy. You're going to pick one of the tabs, and each tab, as you can see, has its own toolbar. Pretty common. That's just like if you were in Microsoft Word, it's exactly the same. And it's the same for ProStitcher Premium and Lite. So I'm going to start with the first tab because this one's a little different. File doesn't actually have a ribbon. It has a drop-down box, and it will let you do these various things. You can see you can open a new workspace if you want. You can click on open and go browse and open a file. Just going to point out the real key ones. Save. If you had something on here, you could do a save as. If you had something on here, you could save it as an image. It has print and print preview. This here you see print catalog. If you have ProStitcher catalog also installed, this will come up. If you just have Designer, you won't see this. And this is your recent files. So that was the file I was looking at recently. So that's the last one. And then this is how you close the program. So files a little different. Homepage, these are the tools that we have in the toolbar ribbon. Sorry, I'm kind of checking my notes here to make sure I don't miss anything. I don't want to go off script here and miss something. So you have your undo and redo. And I always like to point this out. When you ever see a tool that is grayed out, such as undo and redo, and send is grayed out, area is not grayed out, actually, believe it or not, but send and undo and redo are grayed out. It means you can't use them. And that's because you have not met the criteria in the program for these tools to be active yet. So obviously there's nothing to undo or redo because I haven't done anything. And there's no design here to send. And that send function will send a design to ProStitcher Premium or Lite. This is where they talk to each other. When I was saying they talk back and forth to each other, this is the function. So obviously new is just that. If I click on it, it's going to give me a new design workspace. So I'll go back to my design one. Save is actually a save as. It's not just a save. So it's actually a save as. If I click on it, it's going to give me the save as pop-up window. So you can name the design, you can choose, you can click on the down arrow and choose what file type you want to save. And I will point this out here. You see Inspiration Series C2S file extension. That's our working digitizing native file format for Designer. And it's a working file. I always recommend if you are creating a design of your own, you should always save it as a working digitizing file, because that way you can reopen that and continue editing and digitizing. But if you're done, you also want to make sure you have added stitches, and then you can save it as one of these file types here. I would recommend HQV if you have ProStitcher. That's the best file type to save it as. Let's cancel out of that. Open is exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to browse your computer's C drive or your documents folder and go find what you want to open and open it to the workspace. Print preview. I think I have to have something there, but what it does is it will give you a little preview, let you set up the page. You have settings for your printer, and it allows you to kind of do a quick look before you print something. Find, again, that you will not see unless you have ProStitcher Catalog installed. If you buy ProStitcher Catalog, which we're going to talk about next week in the next week's live, Facebook Live, if you purchase ProStitcher Catalog and you already have ProStitcher Designer installed on your laptop or your tablet, ProStitcher Catalog will install itself and integrate itself right into ProStitcher Designer. So that's how I know, one of the ways I know I have purchased ProStitcher Catalog. And another way is I can click down here on my shopping cart and it says I have both of them and they are registered. So, all right. Area lets you open up an area folder. So we have this built-in area folder here. So if you need to use an area, to help you create a design. You've got all of these pre-created areas, which is kind of handy. All right, so I think I've covered that tab. So next tab is our tools tab, and this is kind of where all the magic happens in Designer. So it contains pretty much all of the functions and tools for creating and editing designs. So, and you can see they're broken up into groups. So if you look carefully at this toolbar, you see all these tools, but look down below here. They are very faintly divided into groups. So we have an edit group of tools. We have a clipboard, which is this group of tools. We have our drawing tools, which are all of these. We have some shapes tools, which are artwork. We have some outline tools. We have a notes ability to add a note right into the design. We have a text tool, auto vectorizing, which is actually auto digitizing. And then tools that you might recognize this one, duplicate, which is a one-step copy and paste. Then we have some really fun tools: repeat, carousel, reflect, echo, repeat on path, raise, slice. Those are all of our create tools, except for slice, which is a change. I can't cover every single one of these today, I don't have time, but I'm going to cover some fun ones so you can kind of see things that are fun to do. Hopefully I can get through all of those little demos. This is a fabulous backdrop tool. I'm definitely going to talk about that. So let's see if I can kind of backspace here, make sure I cover some of these. I'm going to back over here to auto vectorizing or auto digitizing. I don't know why they changed the name. They call it vectorizing. It's actually auto digitizing. Same. It uses the backdrop tool. It helps you to create a design. There is a really wonderful tutorial on our ProStitcher.com Learn ProStitcher Designer page. We have 35 tutorials on that page, and one of them does cover auto digitizing or auto vectorizing. Shows you how to use it. So carousel, I want to talk about this one because I don't think I'm going to touch on this. This will take a design and it creates a wreath shape, and you can reflect them, so you can like alternate the aspect of every other design, so it can create some pretty wreath designs. Echo quilting adds echo lines around a design, so it looks like echo quilting. Hopefully I'm going to get to repeat on path and demo that for you. Raise, you can select a simple closed shape and add raise to your design. Magic wand here is that's also used in conjunction with the draw tool to create a design from the backdrop. And that batch conversion, this is where batch conversion lives. That allows you to take a design you have digitized and added stitches to, and then convert it to every single long arm file format there is. You can add notes, you can add a copyright statement here to it, so that gets attached to your design. So that's a really nice feature. So let me go back to my PowerPoint here, and let's pull that up really quick. So text, I did kind of want to show you a little bit about text. Let me shut that down. Let's go back to Designer. Okay, so text, this is a tool that a lot of people ask about, how they can add letters to a design, and it's pretty easy. So let me see if I can find my steps on text, and we'll just walk through it really fast because it's pretty simple. So you just click on text to turn on the tool, and now you see my cursor is turned into a different shape, and I can just click on here, and that will open up a text box for me, and I can just type my name, and you can see I'm typing my name in here, and I can click apply, and there it is. And it's really kind of that simple. And there's all kinds of things that you can do here in your text. If you want to resize it, you can click on the transform button up here. See how it says transform? And then with the maintain aspect ratio turned on, I could resize it. So let's say I really want it to be 4 inches tall. I can click apply, and then I'm going to, let's see if I can zoom in on this. Of course, it's not letting me zoom, so I can go to this. Oh, I moved it. So let's undo some arrows here. There we go. And I can use my navigator window to zoom out, and I can grab this and put it in view. So that allows me to create text. I just wanted to show you that really fast. I can select it and then I can delete it off my screen. So I wanted to show you text just really quickly because it's pretty simple. Alrighty, so Modify tab I want to go to next because it also contains tools that you might be familiar with and use that you've seen in Pro Stitcher Premium and Lite. Obviously, our undo and redo arrows. And here you'll see mirror and flip. They're the same thing. They work the same way as they do in Pro Stitcher Premium and Lite. Same with the rotate arrows. We can rotate counterclockwise 45 degrees, clockwise. And then again, transform, which we also have in Pro Stitcher Premium and Lite, and crop. So these are typical rotate and utility modification tools that you are familiar with. If you have multiple designs on, we can group them or ungroup them. We can move one to the front or to the back if you select it. To origin, we'll send it right to your 0, 0 crosshair. So you can see here is my 0, 0 right there. So if I click to origin, that's going to send her to the design right to 0, 0. And we'll talk about some of these tools here in a little bit. Preview, that's a really important tab. That is where we add stitches to our artwork. Anytime you're creating something in Pro Stitcher Designer, it's always being created in artwork. And once you've got your design created, you can add stitches to it by clicking on the stitches button. That's how we add stitches to it. And in order to save it as a stitch file, you have to do that. If you try to save something you're working on and it's still sitting in artwork, stitches haven't been added, and you try to save it as a stitch file like HQV, HQF, QLI, you're going to get an error message that says, that you need to add stitches. View, it is just exactly like Pro Stitcher Premium and Lite. This is what you are actually viewing on your screen. Settings is important. We've got our general settings here. And there are some things, there's a whole default palette of threads. I keep mine at normal. I want my units in inches because I'm not from Europe, but we do have metric option in there if you prefer it. We definitely want to convert to outlines on loading stitch designs because that's what we're stitching. We're doing outline stitching. We're doing single line stitching and long arming. So you want that selected. We do have a language option. There's a nice autosave function here. You can add your machine. I have not added my machine in here. I have a machine, a 24-inch machine, so save stitching space. I'm going to put 110. This is how you change your grid. I like my grid just as it is. It's set up so the faint lines are 1/4 inches and the bigger, darker lines are 1 inch. And that works for me, but you can change the color if you want. And then view, there are a couple important things here that I want to show you. You always want to have on-screen text typing checked off. So that's one thing you'll want to do when you first get the program. Go to Settings, General Options, View tab, check that off. And then I personally like to have this checked off. Use left click on Thread Palette to apply color. And down here you see my thread palette. In order to change threads, the default function is a right click. And to me, that's not intuitive. We're used to left clicking to make things happen. So this allows you to left click and change the thread color. So I always keep that checked off, and I keep on-screen text typing checked. So there we go. And help is like many other programs here. We've got built-in help. If I click on this, it's going to launch a PDF of the ProStitcher Designer manual, user manual, as well as for me, ProStitcher Catalog user manual, because I have both of them installed. These are tutorials. This will take you to prostitcher.com, and it's going to take you to, let's see, it will take you to this page. Learn ProStitcher Designer. And on this page, we have a lot of tutorials on Designer. I encourage you to watch them all. Some of the things I'm not going to talk about are here. So you'll be able to see how to like Magic Wand and I think auto digitizing or auto vectorizing. They have one on that as well. But there are 35 wonderful videos. And these are the downloadable PDF versions of the videos here. And if you ever click on one of them, for example, Echo Quilting Feature. If I click on this video and I scroll down, you're going to see a giant button that says Download PDF Tutorial. That will do the same thing. If you click on this, you will either get a pop-up save to save it to your computer, or it'll open a different tab depending on what browser you're using. So go back to Designer. Back to home. I kind of covered, I think I covered, let's see, did I miss anything? Oh, I did. Okay. Obviously, this tells you what version you're running. That is the most current version. And ProStitcher Designer has a built-in update feature. If we ever do have an update that's been pushed out for Designer, if you launch ProStitcher Designer on your laptop and you're connected to the Wi-Fi, it phones home and looks to see if there's a new update available. If there is, you'll get a pop-up that says, hey, there's a new update. Do you want to install it? And you can say yes. This, again, as I showed you, launches that little pop-up home page that comes up when you first open the program. This is your registration. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. I have to select one or the other because they're registered differently, but that will show you all of your registration info. I personally recommend that you take a snapshot of this so you know exactly how it's registered, and that you also have your registration number, which will show up if I were to select one of these. So that way you don't ever lose it. So it's just a good idea. And if you ever know and have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to retire this laptop, I'm buying a new one, I want to unregister Designer's install from this laptop, you can go right here and click on register. This is the check for updates also, and you can run it, and it's going to say you already have the latest version of the program, which I do. Also, I want to point something out before we get started, because a few of you don't have Designer but might want to play around with it. Well, let me show you how you can do that. So if we go back to the prostitcher.com website, and I go to software, ProStitcher Designer, scroll down, you can download the software and install it. It will install in demo mode, so you'll be able to do everything except for save and send. So you won't be able to send it back and forth, and you won't be able to save anything, but you can certainly play around with it, and it can give you an idea of whether or not you think you might want to actually purchase it. All righty, so let's go back to ProStitcher Designer, and actually I am going to go back to you all. So let me get back to you all. Okay, now Kim, I posted about that in a comment earlier. This presentation is recorded and it will be on our Pro Stitcher Facebook page for about 2 weeks. It also gets uploaded to Pro Stitcher YouTube channel. So you'll be able to see it forever on the YouTube channel. The Facebook stream is not working. Oh boy. I'm not sure if, let me go ahead and let Lily know that. Is not working per a participant. Okay, so I think other people, Michelle, I don't know, I think everybody else is seeing it because we've got a lot of people locked on. I see that they're seeing everything. Okay, Vita, you're having a problem with loading your designer program onto your laptops. You have two. I do not use it on my tablet. I have followed all the instructions. So Vita, go to prostitcher.com, scroll to the bottom of that page and click on open a ticket and let them know that you're having problems and they will reach out and assist you. Okay. Print catalog under the file tab will make a catalog. Yes, it will. But it is different from the Pro Stitcher catalog program. Okay. Quilting and Creating with Michelle pointed that out. And that may be true. I want to say this was something that was added. She's talking about this right here, print catalog. And then you would go find the design folder that you want and you can adjust it. What is happening for me here is this is Pro Stitcher catalog taking over. And it is a little different, but I think they added that print catalog feature into Pro Stitcher Designer with that 18.33 update. So it allows you to actually print a catalog if you just own Designer and don't own Designer and catalog. And Michelle would probably know if she just has Designer. Okay, so yeah, so Vita, you need to, okay, so Vita, you've posted 2 points. Please open a ticket on prostitcher.com, scroll to the bottom of that page. There's a link that says open a ticket and they will help you with that. Does the licensing follow the machine? Good question. Pro Stitcher Designer is not transferable. So no, it does not follow the machine. So if you decide to buy Designer now and you want to upgrade, for you, it will, because you own it. But you couldn't sell your Moxie XL and have Designer on it. You would want to unregister it on your tablet because it is not transferable to a new owner. For you, yes, it stays with you. All righty, let me make sure I've got everybody else. I see you through Facebook. Okay, Michelle, so there must be something going on with your Facebook issue. Steve, I don't know why you couldn't see it on Facebook. Yes, we are on YouTube. So if you can't, you can go to YouTube and stream on YouTube. But I'm not sure why it's not working on Facebook. Some of you can, some of you can't. So it's a Facebook issue. Okay, let's get back into Designer and let's try to do some fun things here. Because I want to show you some of the draw tools. So let's go to our tools tab and I just kind of want to show you what the draw tools do. So the pencil is just like what it sounds like. It gives you a little pencil icon and you can just draw. You can see I'm pretty bad drawing. And I right click to stop it, or I can press enter on the keyboard and I can literally draw. This is actually a really useful tool. If you have a touchscreen, you can use your backdrop tool pull something in on the backdrop and you can trace over it. And I would recommend using either a drawing pad and tool like a Wacom Intuo's drawing tablet, or if you have a touch screen and you can use a stylus on your touch screen. A lot of digitizers that do a lot of kind of graffiti types of designs, that's how they start out creating their designs. They literally draw them on the screen. Very easy, very fun. So let me choose my select tool. And over here, you can see again, left sidebar tools, just like kind of like what we have. The setup is very similar to what we have in Pro Stitcher Premium and Lite. Again, only one of these can be selected at a time. So if I pick zoom, I can only zoom. I can click select and select something. Or I can zoom out a little bit and I can select everything, and then I can press delete on the keyboard to get rid of it. I'm going to show you some more tools here. So align does just that. And you can see my mouse cursor has turned into a line. So I can place a point, place another point, place another point, place another point, place another point. I'm done drawing, so I'm going to right click and there's my line. And I can show, if I turn on design points, it shows you the points I placed. So that allows me to maybe move a point around. Nah, don't want to do that. Just want to show you how the tools work. So it allows me to move it. If I like it, then I can left click, right click, sorry, and deselect it. If I said, no, I think that was a mistake, I can undo it. Hopefully, there it goes. It'll put it back. This is pan, which is exactly that. Lets me move up and down, and measure tool, which y'all know. Okay. I'm getting a call from Lily. Let me see if I can answer this. Hey, Lily, we're live.
So sorry to call you and interrupt.
It's okay.
We got it reconnected. So leave the studio and then try to rejoin again. Like refresh the page and then rejoin again.
Okay.
That should fix it.
I will try to do that. All righty.
Perfect. Thank you, Patty.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right. That was one of our fearless media coordinators at Handy Quilter. So they're telling me to leave this, and I'm not sure I know how to do that. Welcome to the learning curve, folks. Patty is in the learning curve with our streaming service, StreamYard. So just like you all have been in learning curves with Pro Stitcher Designer, I figure out how I leave this. Okay, let me try. I'm going to try. Guys, let me try to leave, and hopefully we can get reconnected. So bear with me. I'm coming right back. But if I leave and reconnect, that should reconnect the Facebook Live connection. So I will be right back. Okay, can y'all see me with my little head, a little picture? Let me know if you can see me. Anybody speak up and let me know if you can see the little image. And I'm going to share my entire screen also. Yay, I'm back. Yay, Steve. Okay, good. All right, and let me make sure I have little head. There we go. Yay, okay. That was a leap of faith by me. I was afraid I was going to leave y'all permanently, and we're going to strand y'all sitting on a live with no presenter. That would have been terrible. Okay, hopefully that fixed the connection on Facebook Live for everybody who's trying to get on Facebook Live. All right, back to the program. So let me move this. Sorry, sometimes we've got like pop-ups that get in the way. All righty, hopefully you can see my Pro Stitcher screen here. I'm going to go back to StreamYard and see. Could you see my Pro Stitcher screen there, everybody? Carol, could you let me know? Did you see my Pro Stitcher screen for a hot second? because I don't want to merely. All righty. Okay. I've been on my learning curve. Well, Janet, I am still on a learning curve. So how's that? Mary, thank you. Okay. Yeah, the learning curve, guys, the learning curve never ends. It just gets easier and more fun and less anxiety provoking, less stressful. The more and more you learn, the more confident you become, the lower your stress level goes, the more you can intuit and do some critical thinking and be able to have what's called crossover learning and say, oh, I remember that tool in Procedure Premium. So it does get better, I promise you. But I tell all my students, every one of you, I tell you the same thing. Nobody escapes a learning curve. Even super computer savvy people, and I consider myself very computer savvy. I like being on the computer. I like the challenge. Just remember, don't call yourself, oh, I'm not computer savvy. Don't say you're a technotard. Don't say those things, because if you verbalize them, your unconscious brain believes it. So you are impeding yourself and holding yourself back from retaining information, lowering your anxiety level, and being able to learn faster and better. So remove that vernacular from your internal dialogue. Just say, hey, I have to be computer savvy because I own Pro Stitcher Premium or Lite. So nobody who isn't remotely computer savvy would ever think about buying a computerized robotics digital or long arming system. Just, those two things are incompatible. Okay, off my soapbox. So we're going to select this and I'm going to touch delete on my keyboard so I can do some more. So this is our curve tool. And again, notice how my little mouse cursor turns into a curve. Curve is interesting. It starts out as a 3-point, and then you continue creating 3-point curves, but the third point on your first curve becomes the first point on your subsequent curves. So watch. We did 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. That's how curve works. Okay. And it makes kind of a gentle curve. And if you're not happy with that, you can move your points around and kind of reshape your curve, or you can move your little arms around, reshape your curve. I'm right clicking. And each of these nodes, if you right click on them, oops, sorry, my mouse is moving. If you right click on a node, a design node, you can change the type of node it is. So right now, I believe they are smooth, but if I change them to a cusp, that allows me to adjust each arm separately if they're cusps. And you can see this is the original design path is pink, and the adjusted design path was blue, and when I right click, it adjusts it. So again, a right click, and if I go back to smooth, see the little adjustment arms here? They adjust simultaneously for smooth, but if I make them a cusp, you really want to fine tune it, change them to a cusp, then each of these arms can adjust separately. Cool, eh? All right, so let's select this, and I'm hitting delete on my keyboard to get rid of it. Arc. Arc is also, it's a specialized curve, and it's more like a circle, and it's the same 3-point and then 2-point. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you can see that looks like a half a circle. And so then if I go to 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and then right click, or I can press enter on my keyboard and it will stop it. So that's the difference between an arc that's trying to make sections of a circle. Sorry about that. So again, we're going to hit select. It's going to select my design. I'm going to delete that off. I won't go into Bezier. That's a little more confusing, but let's talk about our artwork. These are built-in shapes. So we have a rectangle, ellipse, oh, I don't know why. There should be little images there. Just so you know, just so you know, I had a computer crash this week. So my trusty computer that I normally use decided to have a blue screen of death. So I'm on a brand new laptop that I scrambled to get put together. So for you guys today, no stress or anything. So we all, just so you know, it's not just you that deal with computer issues. Your educators also are in the same world you are. We all live in the same world. We're all at the mercy of technology. So that was my week this week. What I was saying is these should show little symbols. I don't know why they're not. I don't know if it's something happened when I installed this, if it's this laptop, or if I need to try to do a reinstall, but I'll figure it out. So let's talk about these tools. So let's select rectangle, and notice again, my cursor turns into a little square. So if I left click and hold my left mouse button down, and if I draw a marquee box, I'm dragging, you can see I'm dragging my mouse cursor down and to the right. It'll make a rectangle. Well, let's say I want a square. How do I make a square? So if I hold my control key down and I drag, no matter how I'm dragging it, see my mouse is moving all over the place. I'm basically dragging at a diagonal down to the right. Whoop. Don't let go of your control key. Let's select that and we're going to delete it. Let's try again, and let me hold my control key down and then let go of it. I'm having a hard time, guys. Pick the tool, rectangle. There we go. Sorry about that. New computer buttons are in different places. So if you want to create a square and have it sized proportionally, so you can create a square and not a rectangle, you hold the control key down, then you left click and drag and let go of your mouse button, then let go of your control key. All right, let's select all these. I'm going to draw a marquee around them, select them all, delete them. Same thing with ellipse. So if I don't hold my control key down, I can make an oval or an ellipse. But if I want to make a circle, I have to hold the control key down and then let go of my mouse button, then let go of my control key. So that will size it proportionally. And so let's say I want to size it. So I don't know what this is and I don't really care because I can go to transform and I can tell it to be any size I want. And since I have maintain aspect ratio checked off, it will resize the height proportionally to maintain a circle for me. And now I get a big circle. If I click on it once, hit my space bar, it will zoom down. Or I can I zoom in out here and I can pan however I want. And that's here on the navigator tab down here. And as you can see, we have several tabs. We have our sequence tab that tells us what's on our workspace. So I have two things. I have a big circle and a little ellipse. Here is our designs. This is going to go to your designs folder on your C drive and allows you to open designs here. So let me just show you how to do that so you're aware. So let's say there's something in this folder I want to open. And if I can't see this very well, it's kind of squished down. If I float my mouse, see how my mouse cursor turned to a double-headed arrow? That allows me to left click and hold. And then I can drag it up a little if I want to make it bigger. Thing here, I can left click and hold and adjust this or down. I usually don't adjust this because as you saw, it will take away my apply button. But you can adjust this if you want. If you want to open one of these designs, it's a little different. So all you need to do is just select it by left clicking, holding, and dragging it, dropping it onto the workspace. That's how you open a design to the workspace. It's a left click, hold, drag. So I do recommend you jot that down. It's different. That is a little bit different than what you would do in ProStitcher Premium or Lite. Okay, so let me delete that little guy in the way. All righty. And then This is effects. The stars are effects. And this would give you various effects for your design, like a fill. It will fill that. Maybe I like this better. Maybe I want this. Maybe I don't want any, so I can undo. So that's your special effects. Again, we talked about the navigator tool that lets me pan and move or zoom up or down. And again, you can also be on select your design and hit the space bar. Okay. And then I showed you shopping cart. It's what I've purchased. It shows me that I've purchased these two things. So I'm trying to go through all of our different tools as we go along because I think doing it in one giant overview is just a little TMI. So the artwork tab here shows me what I've got, whether I've got an outline, fill, or an area. I'm clearly, obviously, these are outlines. It's 100% opaque, which is what I'd want. This is a default stroke width, which is fine. It can be changed, but I recommend stay at 2. This works really well. It's how thick this line is. Stroke color is blue. I don't change that. I don't make any dashes, but it gives you the options to do that. And this eye is exactly what it says, this information. So I can add notes. If I'm all done digitizing something, I can say Coast Quilt Co. copyright 2025, all rights reserved, Patricia A. Sliney, name of the design, whatever I decided to name it. I can put a keyword in here, like maybe this is going to be a block design. There's all kinds of nice things I can do. And whether I really like this, I can rate this. So I can search by rating if I want in catalog. So, all right. Covered that. Alrighty, let's delete this and delete that. Okay, so we did circles. And then the rest are exactly what they sound like. Same thing with triangle. That's not holding the control key down. This is holding the control key down. So again, the control key allows you to create something so it will size proportionally. And it's a left click hold and drag diagonal. Let's select, delete. There's some really pretty designs that you can make. There's leaf designs, and you could select that design and you could maybe carousel it. I just want to show you some things that I'm not doing a lot of. You can add repeats, and then look how pretty that starts to look. What a pretty design that would be. And you can scale it. And we can click apply and click OK. So that's how carousel works, and it does exactly what it sounds like. And I encourage you to install Designer in demo mode and play with these. Have fun. You can have all kinds of fun. Go through the tutorials on ProStitcher.com. More artwork. Heart flower spiral. Spiral's kind of cool. It lets you have a single, or let's do a double swirl. I don't know what that means, but we'll see. There we go. So that lets you go in and out. So you're going in and then you're coming back out. And these 2 points will be, let me do a thing here. These are actually, let's zoom in. These will be on the same horizontal plane, as you can see. So pretty interesting. Okay, let's select that guy. Space bar to get back to full screen. Alrighty, delete. So I've covered most of the artwork, but play with these. They're really fun. They are exactly what they sound like. So let's go back to you all. I want to see if we have any questions. Wow, Designer does so much. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I'm scratching the surface. This is a design and feature-rich program. What I love about this, and I can tell you, I've used many digitizing programs over the decades. I've been doing this a lot prior to long arming in the machine embroidery world. Probably 4 or 5 different digitizing programs I've used. I can tell you by far, this is the most user-friendly and easiest program, digitizing and design editing program I've ever used. So it's just the right amount of features to give you lots and lots of tools, but it's just not feature overload. And for example, Art and Stitch, great program, but holy Toledo, the learning curve is steep on that. Okay. Oh, Martha, thank you. Good to know. You only saw 2 little shape icons. Okay, maybe that's just how it is. I thought they all showed shape icons, but maybe not. To get the designs that are on ProStitcher, do I need to activate, register, catalog? So if you install Designer, ProStitcher Designer, onto your laptop and you do not have ProStitcher Premium installed on your laptop to use in simulation mode, which every single one of you should have if you've listened to my lives, if you only have ProStitcher Designer, it will install with 250 designs. They're the same designs that come with ProStitcher Lite for my Lite users. If you install Catalog, which we'll talk about next week, no designs come with Catalog. So if you want to see the designs from ProStitcher Premium or Lite, you're going to need to copy your ProStitcher Lite or Premium designs folder, either from the tablet C drive or from your ProStitcher flash drive. Y'all got a flash drive when you got ProStitcher. That designs folder is sitting on that flash drive. So you can plug it into your laptop, copy it, paste it right to the C drive of your laptop. Do not get clever like Patty did when she first started and paste that folder somewhere else. ProStitcher, Premium, Lite, and Designer all need it to live directly on the C drive. So just paste it to your C drive. And that way you will see what you saw when I did that demo and I showed you here and I went to my designs. It goes here. This is what Designer and ProStitcher Lite and Premium will do, is they're going to go here. They're going to go look for the designs folder sitting on the C drive to display it for you. Okay, so I hope I answered that question for you. Can you change the start point of a purchase design, Lori? Yes, you can do that either in Premium or ProStitcher Premium or in Designer. So there's ways to do it in both. To get the designs, we did that. Okay, so I don't see any options of PS designs. So Cheryl, it depends what you're talking about. For catalog, there are no designs in catalog, so you're not going to see anything. Registering it doesn't make a difference because catalog doesn't come with designs, but you can put your designs onto your laptop C drive, just as I described. Plug in your ProStitcher Lite or Premium flash drive, browse to it, copy that designs folder, paste it to the C drive of your laptop, and they will be there for you. Alrighty. And let me try to get up here. I'm trying to answer more questions. Janet, I know you always do your best. You're awesome, girl. Okay. Oh, I'm back on YouTube too. Okay, good, 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 good. Oh man, you guys are quiet. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see here. Oh man, time goes by so fast. I want to show you something really important in Designer because I'm going to skip everything to this tool because I'm telling you, especially those of you that long on for others. And I know there are several of you on this live that do. This ProStitcher Designer can be a write-off for you, and it is really an important tool in your professional long-arming arsenal. You should have it just, if not just for this. So I love this tool. So let me show you how it works. Again, we're on the Tools tab. If I click Backdrop, I'm going to go find a quilt I made. Some of you may have seen this. So I'm going to go look for an image file. And you can pick a standard image file, which I cheated and did because I made this quilt exactly like the pattern with the same colors and everything. So I just saved an image from online. This was a Moda Bake Shop free quilt pattern called Baked Alaska. And so I just captured it from the internet, but you can also snap a picture. Just tape your quilt top up to a wall, try to take as square a picture as you can. I'm going to select it, I'm going to open it, and it opens to my workspace, and it will actually allow you, if you right click on it, it will allow you to define the horizon and scale. And I'm not going to go into that, but it allows you, if you've got a design that the photo's a little crooked, it allows you to square it up. And you can see how to do that by going to prostitcher.com, learn Pro Stitcher Designer, and watch the backdrop tool video. Christina goes into great detail about how to square up your picture and define the scale, but that allows us to do that right in Designer. That is, I've never seen that before. Not familiar with that feature in any other program. This is truly the bomb. So let me show you how this works. So I've got the quilt top that I made, and I need to resize this so it is the right size of my quilt top, which I happen to know is 72 inches. So I'm going to click apply, makes it giant. Left click once to select it, hit my space bar. Okay, so now it's all back on my workspace, but it's 72 by 72 inches, thereabouts. Now this is pretty dark, so I recommend you lighten up about like that. I'm about halfway, a little less. Click apply. Okay, so it kind of puts it in the background. And so now I'm going to go find, I think if I was a smart girl, again, like I said, I'm dealing with the computer crafts and recovery. Let me see. Oh, please be in here. Ah, look at, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to left click, hold, and drag it and pop it right on. How cool is this? So now I'm going to grab it and kind of position it. And left click off of it. Let's go back. I'm going to darken this up just a wee bit. Apply. Make it there. Make it a little darker so I can kind of see. And let's say, not real thrilled with that thread color. Oh, it's a little crooked too. So, all right. Let's change the thread color. You want to select it. So I've got my select tool on. It's selected because it's got a marquee box around it. Let's change it to lime green. And remember, I changed this to a left click and not a right click. So I changed it to lime green. Now I'm going to left click off. Okay, there's a thread color. And I'd say, not so much. So left click it again to select it. Let's change the color again. How about this softer green? Okay, so I've changed it to this softer green. Left click. That's pretty. What if I want more colors? I can go over here and I can add some thread colors. And I don't know how many. I've added like 300, I think. It just keeps adding to new toolbars that you can scroll to. So how about pink? Maybe pink. So I got to select it first. Pink. Left click off. Oh, that's a little bright. Let's try select it. Make it a peach. Oh, that's pretty. So can you imagine doing a little screen snip of this and going like this, saving this? Well, of course, not with my mouse cursor. You wouldn't want that. And sending this image to your client. You can use the screen snipping tool in Windows and just save it and say, hey, what do you think about this design and this thread color? Would that not make you the Pro Stitcher boss? Can you add your own pre-owned pantograph designs to your library and convert to E to E automatically? Mary, it's not an automatic process, but you can take an image of it and digitize it. Yes, ma'am, you can. And you can use your drawing tools to do that. If it's something that's real free-flowing, you can use the pencil drawing tool and literally just draw it and then go to your designs view that shows all the design nodes, all the dots, and move your dots around, adjust them, smooth them. Lots of tools to make it look really perfect. So yes, you could do that. Thanks. Will Pro Stitcher Premium get, thanks. Will Low Pressure Premium get, okay. Yeah, Cheryl, definitely 100%. Install Pro Stitcher Premium for those of you that have light to your laptop to use in simulation mode. Copy and paste your designs folder to your C drive first. And I always say that because here's how it works. When you install Pro Stitcher Premium or Lite, and if you're installing a new version, you might get some new designs with it. For example, Pro Stitcher Connect, PS Connect Beta 847 has new designs for premium users. Same thing with version 537 came with a whole bunch of new designs. If you're using a really old designs folder, let's say you've had premium or light for a while, you might get some new designs with a newer version. The designs folder might be old, but you might be installing a newer version that contains designs. During that install process, when Pro Stitcher is installing itself, it goes out and looks for your designs folder on the C drive. If it sees it there and there are new designs, it's going to install those new designs into the designs folder. If you don't have that designs folder, copy it and paste it onto the C drive prior to your install, you won't get those new designs. You have to reinstall. So copy and paste the designs folder to your C drive first, then install Pro Stitcher Lighter Premium to use in simulation mode. And there are instructions on how to do that. If you go to purchase, I'm going to use this one for an example. So I went to purchase Pro Stitcher Premium, scroll down. Sorry, I'm watching the time here. If you see this link here, PS Simulation Installation Instructions, you can click on that and it will give you a PDF on how to install Pro Stitcher in simulation mode onto your laptop. If you are a visual learner like me, you can go to Pro Stitcher YouTube channel, click search, type simulation, simulation, and scroll down and watch the Pro Stitcher simulation video. It will show you how to install Pro Stitcher Premium or Lite onto your laptop to use in simulation mode. So I am going to let you know, so nice I have it pulled up. Once you have it installed, you need to go to the Settings tab and click the touch button. This button should be on at all times. If you have it off, I want you to look over here at my left sidebar. If you turn this off, look what happens to my left sidebar buttons. They turn teeny tiny. You don't want that. You want that. So keep this on. And then the second thing you need to do is you need to measure your screen and just measure the display screen. Don't measure all the way out to the outer plastic edges. Just your display screen, measure the width and height and enter them in the monitor. That way your designs will be not distorted. They will show up like they should. They'll look right. And you'll know if you go to view and turn on your grid, you should have square grid and not rectangular grid. Okay. Little tip. Good. We're covering so much really cool things. Is version 847 still in beta? Yes, it still lives on the beta tab. But Tammy, it's really not a beta version. And that's directly out of the mouth of a software developer. It is they're technically considering it a production version. So don't let the word beta scare you. I've been running beta for a long time, both on what you're seeing, everything you just saw on my Pro Stitcher screen, that's 847. I have it on my Fusion, working just fine. It works as well, if not better than version 537. Definitely works better than any of the previous PS Connect versions. All of them, each one of them has some little bug. 847 has fixed all those bugs and has very few issues. It's actually very stable. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay. I think you guys are really quiet. I've had so many questions here, but oh man. Okay. Fabulous. We've got a little more time. I want to get back into Designer. So again, this is one of the most favorite tools. I use it all the time. I have I preview just about every single quilt I do, whether it's all over edge to edge designs or let me just take this off. I could certainly open up. I could certainly like pull this in here and I could resize it and I could put it over a block and say, do I like that? Do I not like that? I can't tell. Let me zoom in. I might zoom in, click select again. Let's get it kind of centered. I'm trying to center it on this block. There, left click off. It looks actually kind of pretty. So I might like that. And then maybe I'll pull in another block and stick this over here. Let's zoom in. I want you to see how this kind of works. And whoop, let's zoom back down. Alrighty. And when you're moving, I recommend don't use your slider bars because it'll go all over the place. Use your arrows. You get smaller increments. Select, left click off. Here. That's kind of pretty. Or maybe I want something really different. I don't want this one. So I can click it, delete it, scroll down and find something that might look really different. Try to find something here. Oh, there, this one's different. I might need to make it bigger. I might need to make it smaller. But I can kind of see, I can preview. Ooh, that's pretty. I can see how I like things. So it's just a wonderful tool. I really, really like it. So let's go over to here and let's do one more. I want to show you, if I can get these two done, I want to show you a hidden tool that isn't actually sitting on the toolbar, which is really interesting. So let's do a text. And I'm going to type, let's see. Gotta click in there. Gotta click on my text box. Pro Stitcher Designer Rocks. Okay. Apply. Okay. So I've got Pro Stitcher Designer Rocks here. And if I want to change my font, I can certainly change my font. And, the fonts that are in here, just so you know, are what live in your Windows Fonts folder. Okay. Pro Stitcher Designer knows to go and look in your Windows Fonts folder to go find any font you have installed. And you can install fonts yourself. There's all kinds of fun fonts that you can install. So that's kind of cool. So we've got this, and let me move this over a little bit so it's centered. So this is called text on path. And as you can see, there's no text on path anywhere in here. It's not on the modify. So it's like this hidden tool, but you can do this. And now you can, so we've got my workspace, Pro Stitcher Designer Rocks. I'm following my own notes because I haven't done this for a while. So I'm going to draw a path because I want this to follow a path. Let's say I want kind of a curvy path on my quilt. I want these to stitch out, but I don't want it to be static like this. So I can go to my tools, click on this, and then I'm going to make kind of a curvy path here. Right click to stop. So I've got this curvy path. This is what I want this to follow. And if I go to my sequence and I expand it here by clicking on the plus sign, this shows that I have some text created and I have artwork, which is this curvy line. So now I need to select both items. So there's a couple ways you can do this. Just like any software program, there's always more than one way to do something. I could click on all items, and that's going to put a marquee box around everything. Or I could have drawn a marquee box around it. Or I could have held my control key down and clicked on my text and clicked on my line. Would have selected them both. So once I have these both selected, I'm going to right click. We have this fabulous right click menu. Do you see that text on path? That is a hidden tool. If I click on it, look what happens. Huh, how cool is that? And I can click on this. Let me zoom out a bit. And I can click on the tail and I can stretch it out. Boop. Is that not so cool? And of course, you can click on each one of these kerning icons. These are called kerning icons. So I could select it. Sorry about that, but I could have clicked on the kerning icons and moved each one of those over to spread out my letters, but this actually worked pretty good. So that's called text on path, and that was found in the right click menu. There we go. And it will create, what's really cool is it creates this text on path, and it will also get rid of my path, which that's some brilliant coding, I'm just going to say. So that's one cool tool. So let's get rid of that. And then I want to show you another text tool because people love the text tool here. So let's type my name. Okay. And let's use this, and we're going to zoom in. I'm going to pan, get myself in the middle, zoom in more. Sorry. New computer. All righty. So now I'm centered in the workspace, and I'm using my navigator to do that. Okay, so I've got my name. And I want to show you the weld tool, which is text weld, and that lives on the modify tab. And it shows here it's weld, but we can do it through a right click menu, which is very interesting. So the way that you can weld these is you want these to overlap just a wee bit. Every letter needs to overlap. So if I take my mouse and I move it to the central diamond of any letter, you can see my mouse turns into a four-headed arrow, which means move. That's a universal move cursor icon in every software program, Windows-based software program I know of. So let's move my P over closer, and I'm going to drop it down just a wee bit so it overlaps right here. Now I'm going to move my T over and have it overlap down here with the goal to try to keep things straight on the line, but overlap. Oh, this is a little too low. Let's get it up. Okay, and then let's grab the Y and move it over until it overlaps down here. Okay, so everything is overlapping and touching each other. Okay, so now I'm going to touch my select tool, which will select everything. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to break up the text. And if I go here, you can see they're all broken up. So every letter is separate. And look what turned on, my weld tool. So if I click on this, or it also lives in the right click menu under shaping, and I click on weld, it welded all of these letters together. And if I go to my preview and take a look at it and click on artwork, how cool is that? This will all now stitch out, if I add stitches, as one design, and it does have a jump because it's got a closed area here, here, here. That's got to stitch out. Go back to artwork, you can see, these are closed areas, so there will be jumps to these closed areas. But I can stitch my name out in a single line on my quilt top, and if I want, I can resize it. Let's say I want it to be 4 inches tall. I can click apply, select it, hit my space bar to get it back in, select it again. There you go. So we've come to the end of our time, but those are some, really cool tools. I have scratched the surface of the things that Designer can do for you. Simple things like you can fix a design. If you want me to stay for 5 more minutes, I can show you how to fix a design because this happens quite a bit. I see when you use a design, for example, you want to use a continuous line design and you're trying to repeat it horizontally. And for some weird reason, you're getting start and stops between all those repeated horizontal design elements. You zoom in and you say, oh my goodness, those start and stops are not on the same horizontal plane. Can you fix it in Pro Stitcher Premium or Light? Yeah, you can. You can rotate the design a little bit and rotate. It might take a while, a couple of, trying to figure it out. But it's a lot easier to do in Designer. So see if I can do it really quick for you. So let's see, let's go back. Let's just open up new. We'll just open up a new workspace. And then let me see if I was a good girl. And I put the design in my miscellaneous folder. I don't think I did. Let me see. I think it's in the Darlene app folder. We happen to have this a real life situation that happened with this design. And it just turned out that I'm going to turn on my design points here. This is the shape tool, and this turns on all my design points. And if you look closely, if you look at the start point and the end point, you can see they're not quite. See how this is down here? And then if I move over and look at the end point, they're not quite. Let's get them to both be on this grid line, shall we? If they both live on this grid line, they will be on the same horizontal plane and they will connect. And I know they're not connecting. If I go to Designer, let's clear this and open it. And this was in the Darlene app folder. You can see right here, this design just had a little bit of a boo-boo. So if I try to repeat it, this is what happened. You see? So that's not going to work. So let's get rid of it. Oh, and I can show you the send feature. Let's fix this. If I right click on my ruler, I get another pop-up menu, and I'm going to click on Snap to Grid. So that's going to snap any point that I drag around to a grid line. So now I'm going to go back to my Shapes tool, and I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to click it down, and it snapped right there. So that's good. So now I know my stop point is where it needs to be. Let's get that start point. So I'm going to take it, and I get it close, and then it will snap. I'm happy with that. I'm going to right click. We're working, this is a design, so it has stitches in it. I'm not working in artwork. This is a design that I opened, so it has stitches. So I'm going to go back to my shape tool. I'm going to hit my space bar. I'm going to send this, just like I'm on my machine. I tried to open this, tried to repeat it on my machine, on my tablet, saw what happened. So now I sent it to Designer. Now I'm going to send it back. So if I click on send, it's going to send it back to my Pro Stitcher program. So if I go to Pro Stitcher, there it is. It's fixed. I know it's fixed because look at that. So then what I would do is I would file, save, selected, and I normally will tell you to always save with a new name. But we're going to overwrite this design because it had a boo-boo in it. So I don't mind overwriting it. I'm going to save it with the same name. It's going to say, hey, Patty, do you really want to overwrite this existing file? This time I do. Rare, but there was a boo-boo in this design, so I'm going to fix it. Pretty cool, eh? Pretty fast. Fast and easy. All right, guys, we have officially come to the end of our time, but I want to see if anybody has any leftover questions. These videos have really helped me. Thank you, Carrie. I'm so glad. And be sure that you guys sign up for you can see people are always talking to me. That's okay. That's what I'm here for. I want you guys to sign up for Pro Stitcher Quilters. Pro Stitcher Designer, which somehow got off of here. Let me see if I can find it. We have a Pro Stitcher Designer group. No, let's search for it. It'll come right up. But you got to spell. New computer, new keyboard. Stitcher Designer. Here it is. Please sign up for this group. Remember, anytime you sign up for our groups, we ask you to answer some questions. If you do not answer them, your membership request will get declined. So please answer the questions. You're going to join here. So this is a good group to ask designer questions. But if you ask a designer question over in Pro Stitcher Quilters, I'm still going to answer you. I moderate these groups and I monitor them. If you tag me in any of these groups, and get a hyperlink, and remember to tag me is by going to, you type @ and then type my name, and I should hopefully populate for you. Here I am, and see how I'm hyperlinked. I'm blue. You have to get my name in blue. That is a hyperlink. If you submit a post with my name hyperlinked, it sends me a notification and I will answer you. Okay, so let's go back to all you beautiful people. You're welcome, Cindy. Lynn, yes, these are recorded. It's going to live on the Pro Stitcher Facebook page for 2 weeks, and it also will be uploaded to our Pro Stitcher YouTube channel under the live link section. When using type fonts, do they stitch out with any hole in the type? Yep, they do, just like you see them. So it's what you see is what you get, Mary. So when you saw my name, let's see if I still have that up. Boop. Yep. So it's going to stitch this as a separate design. It's going to have a start and stop point and a pause and a jump. And it's going to stitch it however it sees fit. So if I add stitches to it and I go to stitch out and I test it. Okay, so it's stitching the holes first, you saw, and then it stitches my name out. Isn't that a lovely tool? I just love this. This is how you kind of preview to see if you did a good job with your digitizing, and it allows you to go back and say, okay, that's not stitching out how I like. I'm going to have to do some editing. All right, so I'm glad, Carrie, these are helping. Any other questions before we wrap up? Again, download Pro Stitcher Designer. You'll get it in demo mode if you don't own it. You can play around with it, decide if you like it. If you do, you can buy it. It's already installed, then all you need to do is register it. So that's pretty easy. I am so glad y'all joined me today. Carol, you're very welcome. So good. Practice, practice, Carol. Watch all those videos. Post questions. Say, hey, I need to do this. How do I do it? If I have time, I'll try to put up some little mini lessons. Oh, one thing I want to show you guys. This is important. Don't leave. This is so important. Educational resources. Let's get down to this right here. I want this on the video so you can come back and copy this. These are some educational resources. We've talked about them. The ProStitcher.com Learn page for designer. Oh, there's 39 videos. Pro Stitcher YouTube channel, our Facebook groups. Check your retailer to see if he has any events or classes on designer, both in-person ones or virtual ones. If they don't, ask your retailer to offer one. Our manuals and quick reference guides, and I'll show you where those are. Handy Quilter Academy has Pro Stitcher designer tracks, and there are some aftermarket education. A couple of Handy Quilter educators. If you go to okquilting.com, coincidentally, Kay Collins, who is one of our fabulous Handy Quilter National educators, is offering her Stitch Ready class starting next month. And it's all about designer. And it is an excellent course. It is worth every single penny. I cannot recommend it more highly. Susan Mannery, susanmannery.com, also offers classes sometimes. So check her website. quiltyquill.com, excellent source for Pro Stitcher designers. She's got a basics class series and an advanced class series. mkquilts.com. Linda Jackson, who is a Handy Quilter ambassador in England, has the most beautiful accent you've ever heard. Her website's capricornquilting.co.uk. She also has a YouTube channel. Marilyn Stromat, she's another one. She's just an expert user. She's very good. She's got a bunch of classes on designer, KK Quilt Studios. This is not the exhaustive end. There's probably more. These are ones that I could come up with out of my head. And then the last thing I want to talk about here, don't forget, we do have our Splash into Summer August bundle. Just want to remind people that that's still out there until the 30th. So if you buy Pro Stitcher, robotics system, or a machine, you can pick one of these 3 great bundles to go along. So it's a really nice add-on special that's happening this month. It ends on August 30th. All righty. Done my due diligence. Is there a try copy of catalog, Vicki? No, I don't think so. Just designer. But good question. And yes, you're only seeing me right now because I shut my other. Oh, darn it. Okay. You're right. Let's do that again. Because I want you guys to see this. There it is. Here are the educational resources. This is going to be on the video now. Sorry. Thank you for telling me. I forgot I shut my stage down. This is where you can find additional educational resources, because that's always a question people ask. How do I learn designer well? Here's how you can learn it well. Again, the 2 I really want to call out, okquilting.com. Her Stitch Ready class starts in September. Quiltyquill.com. Jenna Eskridge's website. She is a master digitizer with Pro Stitcher Designer. She was integral in developing that program. She knows it inside and out and in her sleep. She has 2 course collections, a basic designer course and an advanced Pro Stitcher Designer course collection. I cannot recommend those more highly. She would be who I would go to if I had a question, because she literally knows designer in her sleep. And there are others too out there. Again, this is not an exhaustive list. And there's our Splash into Summer. We have a highlight. This is what I would pick personally because I have mature eyes, and this is the most awesome lighting system. You can get the thread and the roll of batting, or you can get $500 worth of digital designs from ProStitcher.com. So great bundle. All righty. Vicki, didn't you love her class? She's fabulous. She is just the kindest, most intelligent, wonderful educator. If you ever get to see Kay in person, she is an absolute treat. She's funny as all get out too. So she makes class fun, really great educator. All righty, guys. Thank you. I'm going to remove this so I can be big and say bye. Thanks for coming and spending some time with me today. And I may see some of you next week with our Facebook Live on Pro Stitcher Catalog. Probably won't be as long because Catalog's a small program, simple. But I will be talking about that. So if you have other questions, we have a little time left over about anything Pro Stitcher, I'm here for you. You can try to do a Stump the Educator question and answer if we want. So see you guys all out there in the virtual world. Bye.